Okay, so it's time to start. And so this is the Python Games Camp, and welcome to the Python Games Camp. This is the day 3, and it's offered by Learning with Me, or rather say Learning with Krishna. That's my name. Okay, so let's just quickly revise what we learned in on day 2. So first we looked at colors, the colors in Pygame. Then we looked at RGB, that is red, green, blue, the values of RGB. And we looked at black and white colors, all about the colors and how to display the colors on the window. And, and that's all we learned on day 2. And let's see what we are going to learn today. I'm not going to waste much of your time telling you what we're going to learn today. So we're going to learn images in Pygame, and they are very, very useful. I'll tell you the importance of images in just a quick second, and how to display and whatever you can see now. You'll see on the screen, like internet, how to share the icon of the window and the place of our image. We're talking about the coordinates and everything. Okay, so talking about images, I just don't know why I put these images, but these are images, okay? Something that show information or some environment or some feelings or yeah. And I just like this icon. That's why I just placed it. Okay, so how do you show images in Pygame? So that's what we're gonna learn today. Pygame. Now, before we do anything, let's learn about blitting. What is blitting and how it works in Pygame. So, I know you must have seen like some kind of movie or some images moving around, maybe at some point of your life. So, talking about images, so what are they? What do they include? They include lines, they include shapes, they include colors, lots and lots of colors, of course, and that's how you make up an image. Like each and every pixel of that image has some kind of color, some kind of linear gradient, some thickness, or some, yeah, I don't know much about that, but still. Okay, so before we go deep into images, let's talk about videos. So, what is a video? Like any video on YouTube or TikTok or some Instagram, Facebook, social media, you see videos everywhere. Even the latest web series that you watched on Netflix or some other streaming platform, that is all a video. Now, how video works, let's understand that first, because that will be needing that future as we'll be building projects on animations and graphics. So let's talk about videos first. So videos are nothing but a series of images just moving back to back and back to back in front of the human eye. Now, the human eye can't catch it so quickly that there are like hundreds of images moving in front of you in just like 5 to 6 seconds. That makes up a video. You see a person walking, that is a video, and there are like hundreds of images working behind that. At each posture of that person, his legs going forward and forward and forward. Background includes more, like there is an image working behind every second of the video, right? And that creates an illusion in front of the human eye that you can't just catch it. Like you can't see the images moving back to back and back to back in front of you. You can just see a video, and video is just a name to call the images moving very fast in front of you. And video is nothing but images, right? So the base of any animation or graphics or video is an image, and that is what we'll be focusing on today. Now, images aside, talking about videos in Pygame. Now, there you can't just display any video on Pygame, of course. You have to display a series of images and images and images to show a video, which I'll be showing you maybe in future sessions, of course. And if you want to stream any video on Python with the help of Python, just for your information, it is not related to Python games. Just for your information, you have certain libraries for that. I'll name a few. You have Piglet, Pyglet, and you have movie pie. So Mobiepy. So those are the packages, or let's say libraries, that you can use the function inside them to stream a video on Python. Yeah, like with the help of Python, you can just show a video on an app or on a window, basically with the help of Python, and that's what those packages are for. Now coming back to images, images can be displayed with the help of Pygame, and there are a lot of properties, or let's say columns, or let's say subjects that images are divided in based on the color, based on the shape, their size, the size of the images, the coordinates, the pixels, and whatever you can just imagine. Okay, so you must have seen a flip book working on YouTube, right? Yeah, I'm just talking about the video. Now, that's an example, like that's an example of how video works. That you just have 200 pages of images back to back that the person just flips over to show you that animation or that video. Video is just the name. Now, let's try that in real code. I'll just go to my code editor, just like that. Now let's see what we've done till now. We have imported PyCharm, initialized it. We have used the width and height. We have defined the colors. We have defined the game window, the main loop, and the exit conditions, right? And so now I just have an image in this folder that is named as color.jpg. And first, before putting that image on our window, we have to load that image, right? Now, inside Pygame, there is a library that is called image, and you have to access that library and functions inside that library so as to blend that image. Now, blend, what does blend mean? Is like, just let's get to the flickbook case right now. So right now, initially the flipbook is just a piece of white paper, right? And that is our screen. So let's kind of relate real life examples to Pygame. So the white paper is the screen of our window, the main surface on which we're gonna blend those images. What I mean by blending is we have to show them like for all the time till the user exits the window, right? And that's what we're gonna do. So before any of these, we just have to load the image, right? So let Pygame load the image from our folder into the code. So we can just define a variable named image, an equal to sign. Now I can just go Pygame like so, and I'll just put a dot so as to go inside of Pygame and get the image library and all the functions inside it. So we can just go Pygame dot image, and we can just go another dot and get the load function. Pygame dot image dot load, that's the function for loading any image in Pygame. Now I'll just give a string inside this, and we'll just go for color.jpg. Now, this is the image that we have in our folder just right here. That is color.jpg, and we are importing that into our code. Just like how we imported Pygame after downloading it, we are just loading it, or let's say, yes, loading it into our code. Now, after we load this image, this particular image into our code, let's go on to the main loop, just like so. And what we have to do right here is we have to first of all write screen. Now screen is where we are going to blend. Now just for your information, screen is the name of this game window right here, which has the value of the game window and the width and the height, all that structure. And I will just say dot blend, name of the function, right? And inside these two parentheses, we have to give two values. First is the image that we're going to split, and next is a tuple. Now firstly, let's go and give the name of the image. So here we have image, and we give a comma and give a set of parentheses, and inside that we're gonna go give a zero and zero. I'll just explain how that works in a second. So right now you see on your screen a window with the image, not the full image. Just make sure this is the upper part of the image, right? And all the image is stretched from the top left of the window to somewhere, I don't know where. Okay, so uh, so the window is just containing a part of the image because the image is too big for the window to capture it totally. I'll just explain you how that works, how we can change the size of the image and all of this stuff. First, let's understand how this 00 works. The value, I'll just talk about this flat icon in a second. Okay, 00 is nothing but the coordinates, the x and y coordinates. You must have learned this in school, middle school, or high school. I don't know. And what is this is 00. Don't just see 00 here because this works totally different in Pygame. Uh, the x-axis extends horizontally and the y-axis extends vertically. As you can see, the value just increases as we go further in any of those directions. Now, in this case, right here, you can just run this to make sure everything works. Okay, so right here, the 00, the x and the y axis are some like this, somewhat like this. The x axis is horizontal and the y axis is vertical. Now, this is the top left of the window from where the window starts, and this is 500 by 500 because that's what we defined right here, right? While creating the window, we defined the width and the height to be 500 and 500 each. Okay, so these are 500 and 500 pixels. Now this is 00, and this, the bottom right, is 500 500, and all the values between them are just x and y coordinates. Okay, okay, just a second, let me minimize this window. Okay, so now here we have defined 00 as the position from where we start splitting the image, and where we extend it. We can't control the way it extends, right? All we can control is the size of the image, like, yeah, the size of the image. Okay, so now let's try and change these values of 00 to 100 and 100, and let's see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, okay, there's a lot going on here. So now on the x-axis, if you take the 100th value, it's somewhere here, and on the y-axis, if you take the 100th value, it's somewhere here. So that is the point where the 100 values of x and y axis intersect. So there is that's the point where these two things intersect, and it starts splitting the image from that certain point. Okay, just close it off. Okay, now we can just play with these values. Like I can give it like 200 and 100. So the first value is of x, the x-axis, just like so. This is the 200 on the x-axis and the 100 on the y-axis, and that is the point they intersect, and that's where it starts like bleeding the image. Okay, okay, good. Now talking about how we can change the size of the image. Now there are two ways to do it. Yes, there are two ways to do this thing. First is let me show you both the ways. So as yeah, just like I can just maybe copy this. Just a second. Copy. Copy. Okay. Now if you're on Windows, you can just go on to Paint 3D, just like so. I can open a new project and you can just paste this. Okay, we just copied the BG, another image in my folder. So no worries, no issues. So how this will work is just a second. Okay, now here we can just change the size of the image anywhere. Like you can just mirror the image, You can just control the pixels. You can just make the image like so. You just control everything, right? What's happening? Okay, so this is how you can just change the image. Now this was just BG. Let me show you how color.jpg works. So I can just copy this and copy it. I can open paint 3D another time. I can open new project and I can just paste this. Now here, as you see, this color.jpg is the thing, and you can just change the size of image. I don't know what I'm doing, but just to show you how this works. Now let's say this is the image. Now you can just go to save as, and you can just select image, and then you can just select wherever you want to save this, and it will just get saved there. And that was the first way you can do that, and the second way is inside the code itself. So let's understand how you can do that inside the code. Okay, so for that, you just have to follow the same procedure. There are some things going on. Okay, let me just get to my presentation first. I just got the image of this certain word that is transformed. That is another part inside the Pygame package that comes with it. And yeah, okay, so what we can do is we can just get another time, that is image equals. Now this will give you an error if you just leave it like that, of course. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, pygame dot transform. Transform, as I said, is another thing in pygame. You can just scale. Okay, now scale is the name of the function that will change the size of the image. Now inside this scale function, you have to give two values. First is the name of the image, just like so, and after comma you have to give a parentheses and the size of the image that you want to change it to. Right now I've given it like 200 200, just like so, and then we can just run it to see the image get small and glittered at the point of 200 100. Let's go ahead and change the values to 0 0 so that you can see the actual length. Okay, so just a seconds ago the image was very big. Now it has changed, and this is like the better way to do it out of the two ways that I showed you, instead of just doing in paint 3D, copying it, like saving it and then copying it to the folder. You can just do it this way. And if I want to fit it to the window, let's see what's the window size first. So it's the 500, right? Yeah. And now what we can do is we can just go ahead, say 500 500. Oh, just a second. 500 500, yeah. And just like so, it has fitted to the window perfectly, just like so. Okay, that was displaying images onto the window. Okay, now next thing on our list, that is flat icon that I was talking about. Okay, so why did I delete it? Okay, yeah, good. Now what we are here is flat icon. Okay, this is a website where you can get icons for free. Some are for free, some are premium, like any other site. And I just wanted to name this because I don't want you searching on the open internet for icons or let's say images. Now, flat icon and images, what is the difference? There is no difference. Instead, that images have a background. Like you can say, um, the image has a particular color behind it, like yeah, there are transparent images also, whereas icons are somewhat like vector images or maybe small images that are mostly used for common purposes, like so yeah, let's just open a Chrome tab, and what I want you to do is you have to go to fadicon.com. There are many websites available, like to get images from, but this one's the best cause this is where we're gonna get our all the project like the projects that we're gonna make in the future. We're gonna get the icons, or let's say the images, from this site because it's very easily available here. So let's say I want somewhere from this collection. So there are many images right here from which we can pick from. Now how to download it, I'll just show you a simple process of doing this. So you can just go on that image and say add to my collection. Now once it's added to your collection, what you can do is you can just go and download, like let's say download my collection in the png form, and you can just give the pixels or the amount of pixels you want. So in my case it's like I always use like 64 pixels, so let's go with 64 pixels. We can just click on free download and your download will start. As you can see here, there will be a zip file, of course. Then you have to extract uh, all the files. Yeah, you have to extract all the files from the zip file. So um, so you can see there are like many stickers. Once stickers, you can say icons that are available. So you can also search for icons. I'll just show you icon that we're gonna use. So as you can see, I search for a spaceship, and we're gonna use one of these icons, whichever you like, in the space game Space Invaders that we're gonna make. And you can just get like any icon out of it. Okay, so that was all about flat icons. That is a website available on the internet for you to go ahead and get some icons. Okay, graphs and x and y coordinates. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to code. Okay, so now what's left in our agenda? Let's just see that. One second. The beginning. Okay, we saw how to display image. We saw how to adjust the side and how to change the place. Okay, I think we saw that, right? Okay, you can just change the coordinate values here. Let's say 120, 100. Oh, I think I just messed up with a bracket. Yeah, so you can just delete this and say 100, 200, and you can just, yeah, get out of here. So this is the size of the image, that is 500, 500. You can so just for your information. Oh yeah, yeah, here we go. Now out of this 500, 500, you can just change it to whatever. Now this 500, 500 is the value of the pixels. Okay, make sure you remember that pixels, that like, how can I say that, the pixels, the number of pixels that your image will be in. So if I just change it to 20 and 20, your image will be as small as 20 and 20. As you can see, the amount of pixels. So that's 20 pixels. Let me just see the time right there. Okay, so we're there halfway. We have like half of the class left, and I'll be back in a second, like in 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll stop sharing right now and we'll continue ahead. Uh, Let me just go and get a drink of water. You can get it. Sure. Bye. think I am audible, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I let's get started again. So I just want to revise, make sure you know everything. Okay. So now I told you about flat icon, how to get images from flat icon, but I have something like adding images from the internet. So by internet, I mean Google. So let's go and get some images from Google to make sure that you know how to get images from Google as well. So go to Google and let's search for images. Just a second. Images. Extensions here. You might even find some GIF extensions that are short animations sometimes, or their images sometimes also. Images. There are PNG types of images. That is .png extension. That is JPG. That is JPE. Or maybe you can just go to extension converter on the internet so as to get some good extensions for, let's say, like PNG. What PNG basically is like, it's the background is transparent, like you can just put it on any background and it will get the color, or let's say the color of the background again. And talking about everything else, JPG has a background of its own sometimes, or like most of the times. And JPG is also similar to JPG, so you need not worry about all those stuff. And
Oh,
if you have
screen share, please.
my screen was shared for all the time, right? I just, yeah, my screen is shared. Just a second. This is just okay. Yeah. Share screen. Um. Okay. Sorry for that. I just forgot about screen sharing and all that stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stopped sharing my screen. Sorry for that. Sorry for all of that. That's done. Sorry. And okay, I hope this screen is visible. Weird screen. Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about all the extensions and all of that. So this is the thing. Okay. Uh, there are PNG extensions, JPG and JPEG. My audio was visible, of course, so I did not worry about that. And okay, so let's say this image, and we're gonna save image. Let's say save image as, and here you'll get the extension most of the times. Right now it's saved, so let's just choose a location real quick. Just a second. This might be locations. Okay, right now I can just save it as P. Let's say just P. Okay, now just it's just like downloaded. Now I can just access that from this PC. I think I showed you this in the last session, right? So okay, so I can just, oh sorry, what the heck, like that, no. Okay, now I can just go ahead on P. Where's that image? Did I save it here? I don't know. What the heck? Okay. Let me see downloads. No, it will not be in the downloads. You can just download it and everything. So for that, save image as, and you can just go on P. There is it's available. Like yes, I can just access this here. So where is it? Let me just see it. Mm-hmm. 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 Sorry for that. I can choose with different extension, of course. Close all of this stuff. Okay, just mistakenly got this out. Okay, so maybe choose this image for that. I can save image as, and I can save it as grass. It looks like grass. I don't know what it is. Save it and go to my folder. Let's guess grass. Hopefully it's there. Yeah, it's there. Now what you have to do if you're using PyCharm, you just have to copy this and inside your code you can just paste this like so. Uh, grass.jpg. Hopefully it's like so. And the bleeding part is mostly the same. That includes, I'll just change the name of the image. So as so grass.jpg. Okay, now let's run this and see it. Okay, you can see it as a small image because we just transformed it into the size of 2020 pixels. Let's change it to 500 so that all is said and we can go on the next topic we have to cover. Okay, we started building from 100 to 100. So let's make that 0 0 as well, so that the image fits exactly on our window. Okay, so here you see the image of the grass is just like so. Grass. Hmm? Okay, so let's revise all the statements so that before that, is there anything we've got to cover? Set icon. Okay, that is the only thing we've got to cover. Okay, okay, right now, if you see, the window is good, it's filled with the image. The caption of the window says spy game or window something, and the icon is pretty dumb, right? So we have to change the icon at the and the caption. So let's say caption first. You need not worry about caption too much, it's simple. So what you just have to do is spy game dot display. Caption is related to display, so that's why dot set caption, and you can just say my window my window, and you can just see, and it will be renamed to my window hopefully. And that is how you can just change the caption. Now talking about the icon. Now for the icon I've got oh, there is, yeah, so there is this image that is bg. Oh, just a second. Yeah, is it bg? No, this is icon.jpg. Before it was named bg, right? Okay, no problems, no issues. Okay, now before we, the first thing we do after for loading any image is that we just say icon, we just store it into variable, right? Before using an image, we just load the image first. Okay, pygame dot image dot load, I say icon dot jpg. Okay, so after we have loaded the image, what we can do is that we can just give the statement named as pygame dot display dot set icon, sorry, set icon, and we can give the value as icon. And if we run it, hopefully the icon photo is changed. It's like it's changed, right? Yeah, and it's my window, the icon is like so. There's an image. Now before it was too dumb, right? The window was black, it was the caption was something pie game window, and the image was not too good, right? So that's how we changed all of it. And Anything left? Let me just see. So as we can just rewrite the code to practice and practice and practice. We told you about transform. I told you about that icon. We talked about videos. We talked about bidding. We talked about images, the agenda. Is there anything left? No. And yeah. So this is all of it. Okay. Now let's rewrite the code so that we can hmm, pick up on things easily. Okay, so this is where we started. I can just write the code real quick. First, we loaded the image. You can say it as pygame.image image dot load. You can say it as color.jpg. Color is good. Okay, and did we do something with it? Yeah, we transformed it. Image equals pygame.transform.scale, the function used for transforming it from image to the given pixels, that is 500, 500. And we talked about how can we can blend. So first it's the surface name on which we have to blend. Next is dot blend, the two parentheses, the image that we have to blend, and the coordinates from where it has to start bleeding. Okay, good. Now talking about the caption and the icon. That's all we learned today. Icon equals pygame dot image dot load, which is icon dot jpg. You can just say pygame dot display dot set icon of icon image icon, and hopefully the icon is changed. Now we can just change the caption. Just what did I do? Okay, pygame dot display dot set caption with something like caption is inside a string. Make sure you give it inside double quotes or single quotes. If you just give it like something like this, it will go out an error, of course. Now let's say mhm, images. I want to give that image. Okay, so the caption is images, the background is like the icon is changed. Inside this we can just see it, and I just wanted to show you a thing. Just a second. I can start bleeding it from 100, and we can just change the size to 300 and 300. What if we want to fill the window with color and an image uh, at the same time? We can do that, of course. So just make sure the image is a bit smaller than the window size, and there is some black space left around the image, right? And that's where we can just go ahead and place the color. uh, by color I mean these colors that we learned in the previous session. So the statement that we use to do it is screen dot fill. What color now? Green. And we can just run this thing, and as you can see we used color and image blended. Color does not blend, it fills, and do that on the window at the same time, just like so. Okay, and huh, let's try it with the red. I'm too tired. Hmm. You can go ahead, get images from the internet, make sure the extension is correct, and um mm, yeah, you can just blend the color and extension for like at the same time. What am I saying? Not the extension, the color and the image. You can set the icon with the dot set icon inside of display inside of pygame, and you can set the caption inside of displays, like the set caption function. You can just go ahead with pygame.display.set caption inside of a string. You can just put the text, and yeah. Now, after we have covered images, you might be thinking, how can you render text? Why did I say render? Okay, render is a different thing. It's very different from blitting. So we're gonna talk about text and music in the next session or lesson or session. Okay, rendering text and playing music in the next session. Make sure you just come in the next session. This was all about images, and uh, there was a lot. Is there something left? And we talked about video, flat icon, the website, bleeding, and graph. The x and y coordinates is important. After you experiment a little bit with the numbers and the values, you get the hang of it. You just know how Pygame takes it. And these are some images, Pygame. That was day 3. Okay, just a second. Let me just do that. Just a second. Okay, so it's 6:16 in India, and that's like 15 minutes left. So actually, the content for today is like, yeah, we're done with images. So maybe we can end the session, right? Let's just close this. Mm-hmm. Um, we're fine. Let's write the code one more time. No. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's revise. So we imported Pygame. Just make sure you don't forget any of these. We initialized Pygame with this function. We just define the width and the height variables. Now talking about colors, we define them inside tuples, or let's say simply inside brackets. We used set mode to create the window and fill. That's not um, necessary for now. So before using any image, you have to load the image. So that's why pygame.image.load inside strings. One more time, you have to give the name of the image. Now, yeah, a lot of programmers face this issue, that they are getting an image from the internet. They're saving it to their folder, not folder, they're not saving it on the folder. They're just giving the name of the image inside their code, and they're running it. They're not finding the image on their screen, and then they have doubts. So make sure you have all the images in the same folder as your code. Now, what I'm talking about right now is, first, you downloaded Python, then a code editor. Right now it's PyCharm for me. Now is when you install that code editor, it makes a folder for all the projects, all the code you write inside that code editor. It gets saved inside a folder on your desktop or your laptop or your hard drive, you can say, a drive like C drive, E drive, G drive, whatever. And inside that folder, the editor folder, you have many folders, the projects that you have created. And inside one of that folder, you have to keep that image so that Python can access that image and Pygame can load that image, and you can build that image onto your window. Else you'll not see the results. So make sure you have the images going on in the same folder as your code. Okay, and that's very very important so that you can access that image. So if you don't have it in your same folder, then you will not be able to successfully blend it onto your window. Okay, we talked about caption. Now what is caption is the basically the name or the header, the title of the window. And you saw how we can move it icons. The image that is on the top left corner on the bar of your window. Now this is the main game loop, very important. You can just blend it. So what is happening here, if we go in a bit deeper format, is um, this game loop is running infinitely. It is never stopping till you exit the window. And this spy game is splitting the image each and every fraction of the second that the window is displayed. So you have like you cannot see the image being blended continuously because that's an illusion for the human eye, as we talked about the video and images on the video. And while continuously, like while true, while running has the value of true. So that's what is going on. It's like bleeding at every fraction of second the code is running. And another thing, if you don't have this statement right here, where's my cursor? Okay, that says pygame.display.update. If you don't have this and you run this, you will not be seeing the image, of course, because you are not updating it. And that is very, very important. So make sure you have that particular line of code inside your like code. So it will update it continuously, and right now it is updating it each and every fraction of second, but you and I cannot see that because that's an illusion for us. And yep, that's all about it. And another time you can just go on to flat icon, get out icons from there, flaticon.com. You can just get icons out of here. You can just search about icons if you don't find your desired icon on the internet. So yeah, it's pretty much it. We have 10 minutes left, but I don't have much content to go over. Okay, so thank you everyone. I think we'll just end this session right now. We don't have anything to talk about. The folders, yeah, we can close this. Okay, so right now